we made it to the haul road. About 20 miles up it. As you can see, the road's pretty nice here. It's bare. It's bumpy and dusty, but it's pretty bare. A lot better than last week, man. Of course, a little further up is where it got bad last week. We may still hit some snow-packed areas. The thing about the Dalton is there's usually snow on it, or it's bumpy and dusty. Always something going on. Well, we're at mile marker 19, yeah. Last week I made it to 41 and my coolant light came on. I stopped and I think it was a big truck, and he'll probably call it.
Big truck.
Yeah. Slow down a little bit. Some room and try not to throw rocks on each other's windshields. Anyway, I stopped there at the 41 with a pull out. We stopped. My water pump was leaking, so it was about to go out. I had to turn around, drive 200 miles back to Fairbanks, swap trucks with a truck in Fairbanks. Back up here to the 41, grabbed my trailer. I left it here. Got up to Coldfoot, which is at the 175. Got about an hour and a half sleep. Then we had to take off to Prudhoe Bay, which is another 240 miles. That's just a dead horse. Got another 60 miles out in the tundra. Not to where we were going. Not bad now. It's 23 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not real cold. It's below zero up in Prudhoe. We had a lot of wind last week too. I don't think we're supposed to have any wind this week. We're not supposed to get any snow up here, I don't think, till the weekend. So we should be back down at Palmer or Anchorage by then. I say that, I don't know. Now they're talking about me dropping my trailer in Fairbanks on the way back and picking up a flatbed and taking it up here and delivering it Saturday. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh, there's that crack. The road's cracking apart right there. They threw some dirt in it. Helped a little bit, but it's still bad. From the permafrost thawing and freezing, get these big frost heaves and cracks and such. Here's another one. There's that big one. Oh, there's another one. see is maybe she's got a husband or something that works up here on, you know, in Prudhoe Bay. But man, that's a long drive in a car up here. That's 400 and something miles. I wouldn't drive a car up here. But, you know, some people do it. Not very often. You don't see a lot of sedans running up and down this road, especially Audis. They're not very, shall we say, robust. Well, they're made for pavement. Looks like there's a flatbed behind us. Tell Andy on the radio. Looks like there's a flatbed coming up behind us.
Oh, I'm sure he's running pretty hard.
Some of these guys get in a big hurry, man. We're not in a huge hurry. We're going to get the cold front and shut down.
You meet one down by the bridge.
It's about 140 miles, about 150 miles, cold foot. So we're not in a huge hurry. Then tomorrow we have all day to get up to the camp where we're going to stop for the night, tomorrow night. And I got 4 drops Thursday. Different rigs. If I get across this bridge for that oncoming truck. Oh, this bridge is pretty wide, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna slow down for him now. We don't shower each other with rocks. You do that on here, and you do it on the Alaska Highway where they have gravel patches. You know, you try to slow down a little bit for oncoming traffic. You don't bust each other's windshields. Curious to see what this is going to look like when we get up above mile marker 41, 50. That's where they were having a lot of blowing snow last week. Snow drifts. It was pretty bad. I will say this about Alaska. I complain about the way they maintain the roads. They do a pretty good job of keeping this road cleaned off as much as they can. But it's the only way to get supplies up to Prudhoe Bay, man. I mean, you can fly certain things in there, but most of it has to come by truck. And there's a lot going on up there, man. A whole lot going on up there. Now, summertime it'll slow down because a lot of the ice roads there to our right is the Alaska pipeline. You can see it. You can see it over there or not, but you might see a little bit of it. It'll be beside us here and there, one side or the other, all the way up to Prudhoe Bay, all the way up to the Arctic Ocean. Pretty good stretch of road right here. It's pretty smooth. Glad we get to Coldfoot, man. I didn't sleep good last night down in Anchorage. Pardon me. It was too warm down there. It only got down like the mid-30s. And I turned my bunk heater on, and I'd turn it back off, and then it would get cold, so I'd turn it on and crack the vent in the sleeper. There's probably a good picture of the Alaska Highway, or I mean Alaska pipeline. I'll sleep a little better tonight. You out, man, because you stay kind of at a high level, you know, all the time. Even now, even though the road's bare right here, you still stay at a fairly high stress level all the time on this road. And you're always shifting gears, up and down, up and down. You know, it's not like the interstate where you can set the cruise and just kind of kick back if you're in a rural area. Granted, it's a little less stressful so far today, but I got a feeling it's going to get worse up here in about another 20 miles. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Tomorrow, climbing Attican. Well, you know, Attican is what Attican is. It's always steep going up, and it's always steep going down. Doesn't matter what the road looks like. Doesn't matter what the weather is. Scenery up here. I don't blame the tourists for wanting to run this in the summertime, but even if they do get in your way here and on the Alcan and on the Parks Highway and all over the place. But I can't really blame them, you know. As long as they stay out of your way, as long as they realize you've got the right of way and they stay out of your way and let you do what you got to do, I don't really mind. washboarding or anything like that. Got some cracks back there. It'll get bumpier though as the permafrost starts to melt. It'll start to buckle. Problem is, you get a little overconfident, you get to rolling too fast because the road's good, and all of a sudden, bam, you hit either a real slick spot or you hit a bunch of cracks and bumps. Washboarding on this ice that's under here. Not too bad. Talking about some new projects starting up here in Prudhoe. If they knew there's going to be even more trucks on this road. Pretty wild. We'll slow down up here in the summer. As you can't use the ice roads up there too much anymore, and all the rigs that are sitting on ice, they'll have to move them out and shut them down for the summer. But my understanding is the boss is down in Texas trying to get up some more business right now. Oh, here's the paved part, or chip seal. Alright, but it's bumpy as hell.
big trucks.
10-4. Yeah, it's like rush hour. Always traffic.
Pull in here to 41 mile and check things out a little bit.
10-4. We're going to pull off in here in the 41, check our reefer units, make sure everything's copacetic. Let that flatbed go by. That'll make him happy. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, I can't see. I gotta wear glasses. So we'll gotta write down our temperatures when we stop. -6 in the freezer, 38 in the chilled. Time about 6:20. It's 18:20. There we go. When Andy's ready, we'll take off again. Got a bit of a headache. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it goes away. I just took something for it. Oh, it's been a long day. Tuesday's always long for me because we start out early in the morning in Anchorage at Cisco Foods, and we get all the way up here to Coldfoot. And it's only a little over 600 miles from there to Coldfoot. It doesn't sound like a lot if you're running the interstate, but up here, you know, that's a pretty good trip because you just can't make good time. You know, like I was saying earlier, you're probably averaging 40, 45 mile an hour, you know, and then even slower tomorrow once we get up to Dead Horse, which is Prudhoe Bay. Going out on oil field property, speed limit's like 35, so you got a lot of 15 mile an hour zones. So it's 244 miles from Coldfoot to Prudhoe, and then you get on the oil field property, and then, like I said, it's 35 mile an hour. You're probably about 60 miles out across the tundra on that. So it's a lot of long miles. Yeah, makes for a long day. Really does.
Haven't seen him in a while. Just going the other way.
And we're gonna roll out again.
Pretty well ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Not doing bad at all. The road was in pretty good shape, except for that, well, right there around the 21 where they got those cracks and all that.
Oh, it's gonna get rougher.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Well, that's probably our last stop till we get to Coldfoot, which is 130 miles. Something like that. I guess I should put my seatbelt on. We don't have the seatbelt buzzers on these trucks because there's some places where better off not having it on in case you have to jump out real fast. We're not in one of those areas today. Not here anyway. And down the hill we go. This isn't bad right here. You got the chip sealed road. It's in fairly decent shape, but it's going to get worse, like Andy was saying on the radio if you heard him. The wind was howling through here last week, man. It was whatever below zero. I think the wind chill was like minus 50 something. Yeah, it was howling pretty bad through here. Oh. There's our next hill up there. You can see it.
Always gets a little greasy right here this time of year. Doesn't get much sun.
Copy. See, that's the thing. The road's bare, and when you hit these areas like this, like he's saying,
They're not in too bad a shape.
it doesn't get a lot of sun, so you got to be careful. You hit these icy patches, and all of a sudden you start sliding. Yeah, it's not too bad right here now. That's why you don't want to get going too fast, because you can go from good road to ice real quick. This time of year, it's not snow, it's more ice. Because the temperature gets up like it's 25 degrees here right now. Which is, I know that doesn't sound warm, but it is really. Compared to what it is in February, or just last week actually. Just a few days ago. Said the wind chill was minus 50 something. A week ago today.
I gotta call my wife back.
10-4. easier way to make a living. There is. Yes, I could be down in the lower 48 on a nice wide interstate, cruise control set. Just easing down the highway, holding the steering wheel. But where's the fun? see you on the next one.